You're watching ABC7 News at 4, starting with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon, I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for our second day of our new newscast here, ABC7 News at 4. And we are starting off with some heavy weather headed our way. Get a look at the radar and review over the past hour. The East Coast breeze very active this afternoon, a tremendous amount of lightning. On top of that, we have the West Coast sea breeze about to collide with it, and that means those storms will only get stronger as they make their way off toward the west now. Right now you can see that's the East Coast breeze, the West Coast just right there, and those two are going to come together, and these storms here are going to start to explode that you see. No, not dry now, but it's going to get tremendously stormy here with winds gusting as high as 40 miles an hour as these storms move on through, and some frequent lightning. We already have some showers developing along the West Coast breeze near the Interstate 75, and here's some of the towns that will be impacted by that line. I think Northport right around 540 or so, and then Mayaca City right around 453. So you'll see that really start to get rather intense. This is going to be a setup for some heavy weather here, looks like, over the next couple of hours. Then it should blow through pretty quickly out into the Gulf of Mexico. It depends how strong that West Coast sea breeze holds that line up. It is moving to the southwest at around 10 miles an hour. You can expect some heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, even the possibility of some small hail as they make their way off toward the west. Well, much more on that. Quite a few lightning strikes with that as well. Now we'll toss it over to Jacqueline and Scott. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you so much. Welcome to day 2 of our new newscast, ABC7 News at 4.
For those of you who are accustomed to seeing Suncoast View right now, don't worry. You can still catch it every morning at 9 o'clock here on ABC7.
Well, right now, a big 4th of July celebration on the Suncoast is getting underway. People are starting to arrive at Nathan Benderson Park for July 4th fireworks a day early. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us now live from the park with a preview. Hi, Rick. All right, well, Rick obviously couldn't hear us there. They're going to have some live music. You were telling me a lot of food's going to be out there.
Yeah, they're having a picnic.
Prior to all the fireworks tonight.
And you said the fireworks don't even kick off until 9 o'clock later on
that's
tonight.
When it's about getting dark enough
right.
at that point, yeah. Well, let's check the traffic. If you are heading out to Nathan Benderson Park this evening, you can see Interstate 75 looking clear. The roads, no accidents or anything being reported in the area. So right now, things are looking okay if you're heading out to Nathan Benderson Park. Now, while you may love fireworks on the 4th of July, chances are your pets do not. The loud noises can make them very anxious, even traumatize them. But you can make this holiday easier for them. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick is live from Nate's Honor Animal Rescue tonight to explain how you can protect your pets. Jess?
Jacqueline, Scott, on July 4th, that's the holiday when the most pets run away or get lost. But if you follow a few simple tips, you can make sure that your pets aren't one of them. First and foremost, don't ever take your pet to a fireworks show. Even if you think that they'll be okay, once those fireworks start to go off, they could have a panic attack and hurt themselves trying to get away. If your dog is at home and hears fireworks, barking, drooling, and shaking are all signs of anxiety. Vets suggest distracting them, but by still acting normal, so do things like play with toys or give them treats. There are also thunder jackets that you can buy to put on your pets that will calm them down. And if you take them outside to go to the bathroom around the 4th of July, always make sure that you have them on a leash. Because so many of these pet owners aren't taking this advice, a lot of animals are showing up at rescues, like here at Nate's Honor Animal Rescue, also at Animal Services in Sarasota County. And vets are actually really busy this time of year because a lot of these animals will get injured when they take off. You'll hear from vets and from Animal Services coming up at 6 o'clock. For now, reporting live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Jess, thank you so much. Well, the fireworks continue tomorrow night as well. You can see the big show over Sarasota Bay from anywhere downtown. That starts at around 9 p.m. For a beach view, you can check out the 4th of July celebration at Siesta Key Beach. The viewing area opens at 6 and fireworks will start at dusk. Another option, fireworks over the Manatee River. That display will be along Bar Carrata Avenue at the Riverwalk, and it starts at 9. We have information on a lot more shows. Just go to our website, mysuncoast.com. New at 4, surveillance video of a man police say attacked a woman inside her home on Holmes Beach. We are also sharing this video on our website in hopes someone will recognize the man. The attack happened last Thursday on 75th Street. Police say when the woman returned to her home, a man was inside her bedroom. He attacked the woman, knocked her down, and then took off. Police say the suspect was driving a gray Nissan Maxima. Manatee County Crime Stoppers is offering a reward of up to $3,000 for information that leads to an arrest. A fight caught on camera in the middle of a busy street in Bradenton is quickly going viral. That video being shared on Facebook shows the brawl at Cortez and 5th Street. Two people start shoving each other while a third person repeatedly hits the passenger. The passenger then gets out and all four start fighting. Two women were hospitalized, two other women arrested. Well, Willie Edwards and Markavia Jenkins were both arrested in that and charged with criminal mischief and aggravated battery. Northport City Commissioners are trying to be proactive to meet the needs of one of the fastest growing cities in Florida. A 5-year plan for emergency services calls for the city to take over operations of a fire station that's currently controlled by Sarasota County. That station covers calls in the West Villages development, which is where a multi-million-dollar spring training complex for the Atlanta Braves is now going up, along with hundreds of new homes. All right, Jacqueline joins us now for a look at the top stories happening across the country. Jacqueline?
Scott, a suspect is now in custody after shooting and critically wounding 2 workers at a Kansas City elementary school. The shooting suspect then ran off and tried to carjack someone at a car wash and was not successful. Then they say he was able to carjack someone else at gunpoint. An Overland Park police spokesman says an argument erupted between co-workers on the school's playground. No children were on campus at the time. Turning now to a developing story in Thailand and a discovery many are calling a miracle. Doctors are now reintroducing food back to the 12 soccer players and their coach. After 10 days of battling heavy rains, mudslides, and near-zero visibility, rescuers are now urgently working on a plan to get them out as quickly and safely as possible before more bad weather sets in later this week. Just north of the Suncoast, Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputies are investigating after a woman appears to fall out of an SUV. The driver stops, gets out, and picks up the woman, who appears to be unconscious and injured. The driver then puts her back into the vehicle and drives off. The incident happened on Monday, but the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office says they have now spoken with everyone involved. The passenger told them it was an accident and she is okay. Let's send it back to Scott for a story that's impacting your tax dollars. Scott?
That's right, Jacqueline. In the days before the city makes its final approval on a budget, Sarasota City Clerk has asked commissioners to spend $600,000 on a new building. ABC7's Taylor Torregano is live at City Hall tonight with why the clerk says this is all necessary. Taylor?
Good evening, Scott. The city clerk says she needs this facility in order to store all of the city's documents, but the argument is that they can store these 2,500 boxes elsewhere for a lot cheaper. The currently empty space in question is here on the corner of 17th and Beneva. It would cost $610,000 for the city just to buy the building, not to include all of the additional purchases that could add up to another $600,000 needed for the inside. The mayor says this money would come out of this year's budget, but Mayor Alpert, the only one who voted against this, says it doesn't make sense to spend this chunk of change to buy the facility when we're moving towards a digitized future anyways.
I think just with all of the things that we're looking at in terms of how to, close a budget gap, this is not something that we need to be doing. We can store these off-site for around $4,000.
And yesterday's vote means now the city clerk will look at how much those additions will cost. Then the city commission will make their final decision on if to move forward after that. I'm live at the City Hall. Taylor Torregano, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Taylor, thank you. A new era is underway for the nearly 50,000 people in Manatee County who wonder where they'll get their next meal. The agency Feeding Tampa Bay this week ended its relationship with the Food Bank of Manatee. Feeding Tampa Bay now distributing donated food to several other food banks, a move it believes will get the food to more people who need it. However, one of the food pantries now left out of the equation says it is already seeing a decrease in healthy, usable food to distribute. If you'd like to learn more about how you can help families in our area, you can go to our website, mysuncoast.com/hunger. Beachgoers are hoping red tide doesn't ruin their holiday fun this week, but it can be tricky to keep track of in the ever-changing algae blooms. That's why the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is asking for help. The agency looking for volunteers to collect water samples at least once a month from piers, bridges, or docks. FWC will pay for the sampling supplies and the shipping costs. Still to come on ABC7 News at 4, a harrowing rescue in Miami after a plane makes a crash landing. Plus, a warning before you take a dip to cool off this summer, why it's important to check your surroundings. And we're breaking the myth that a car is a safe place to be when lightning strikes, sharing one woman's terrifying experience.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. Brought to you by Batteries Plus, the Florida Lottery, and Sarasota Glass and Mirror.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
Judy here, I think hospice was a tremendous source of support for her.
Absolutely. With Jennifer and Kimberly and Liza's constant contact with us, coming in, just knowing that there was someone with knowledge there to back us up, to answer our questions, it made a world of difference.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Now with more information and new details on two situations involving alligators. First, a frantic 911 call by a mother in Central Florida pleading for help as her daughter clung to a tree branch trying to escape an alligator below.
What is the emergency? I'm at Free Creek. My daughter's stuck in a freaking tree. There's gators surrounding her. We can't get her out. Please, she's 15.
Jordan Broderick was floating on a raft in Altoona, Florida, when an alligator snuck up on her. She was too far from the shoreline and grabbed a branch of a nearby tree and then climbed up in it while the alligator was waiting below her. When the responding deputy got there, he shot the gator in the head before it disappeared back into the water. Experts say before you go swimming, check for gators, especially on the shoreline where they often lay eggs, because in Florida, if you're hanging out in a body of water, chances are you are hanging out with alligators. Now to a story here on the Suncoast that has many people questioning their pets around alligators. We posted this story on our Facebook page about the investigation of an alleged alligator attack on two dogs in Venice. That attack happened Friday night while 2 German Shepherds were running off leash at Shamrock Park. One dog had injuries so severe it had to be put to sleep. The other is still missing and presumed dead. People who use the park are being urged to keep their dogs on a leash at all times. And another video that has people talking, a small seaplane crashing into the water near Miami, all caught on camera. Marcos Moraga was on his boat over the weekend filming the plane when suddenly it made an awkward splash of a crash landing. Luckily, Moraga is a first responder and he quickly made his way over to the plane while his family called the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard in FWC responded and that pilot is now in good shape. There's no word yet on what caused that plane to go down. Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast on this Tuesday afternoon. Bob?
Thanks, Jack. And what we are looking at is a line of intense storms making their way toward the Suncoast now. And at Nathan Benderson Park, a big fireworks demonstration tonight. On top of that, a big concert going on as well. Started at 4 o'clock, goes until 10 o'clock. Looks like you're going to be delayed for about an hour. That's what I think will happen. About an hour for all the rain and storms to get through. It should be through by the 9 o'clock hour, too, for the fireworks, and it should be a brilliant show there. As far as the clouds go, they're starting to increase. Looking off to the west and northwest from Lakewood Ranch, you can see from the Titan radar picture the east coast breeze really intensifying this afternoon, moving pretty fast too, and that's a good thing because I think it'll blow on through fairly quickly. Now this west coast sea breeze starting to get a little active. You can see some storms there. It's just about ready to meet up with the east coast, and when that happens, these storms will explode in terms of their ferocity, and heavy rainfall expected, frequent lightning, and also the possibility of small hail. You can see the west coast breeze not doing much right now, but as I mentioned, once it hits this one, you're going to see some stronger cells pop up. The rainfall rates have been pretty heavy too, nearly 2 inches of rain per hour. That is torrential downpours with some frequent lightning as well, and the possibility of some small hail. We'll query this storm and see the indications are Titan impact 2.6 on the hail. Out of a scale of 10, you can see not much of a flooding problem because the storms are moving so fast to the west-southwest, so that's not a big issue, but we are seeing some lightning, and the impact on that was 0, but I would suspect that that's probably more in the range of 3 to 4. Again, sensitize the radar to show it hasn't met up yet. It's right there, but it's getting close to it. So look out in places like Mayaca City, Hidden River, as well as into Parrish, and eventually the coast later on tonight. You'll see this line move through, and then by 8 o'clock, most of it should be out into the Gulf of Mexico, clearing the area, and then we'll look for some clearing. Now, there may be some light rain lingering behind it, but not much. Looks as though we'll see a pretty good evening once it gets through, and I think most of it will be through by 6 o'clock tonight. Well, the futurecast for tomorrow showing a lot of sunshine starting today. But more storms are expected in the afternoon and evening, and tomorrow's storms may be a little later in arrival. What's happening is we have this upper level low right here. It's a rather large upper level low, which will continue to move through. That will bring us that easterly wind with the winds whipping around it in a counterclockwise swirl here. We're also watching this area for the possibility of tropical development south of Bermuda. And this one too close to land, but boy, a lot of rainfall there in southern Louisiana. A 30% chance the next 5 days, this becoming the next named storm as it makes its way toward the northwest. Then the north, it's going to interact with the front and for the most part not allow it to develop and push it out into the Atlantic. Currently, we have some clouds here, 89 degrees. The heat index at 100, but once that rain moves through, it'll cool down, so it'll cool things off for the fireworks. Tomorrow's high temperatures will be into the upper 80s. We will see a heat index up into the mid-90s and a good chance for showers and storms in the afternoon. Look at this, 96 in Boston now, 94 in the nation's capital. These are actual temperatures, too. And it looks like the heat's going to go on there over the northeast. Here's the boating forecast for us. As we see it tonight, we'll see winds not too bad out there. Winds tomorrow out of the east, turning to the west at 5 to 10 knots, seasonably 1 to 2 feet, and a light chop out there. The 7-day forecast looks like this then. A good chance for late day storms tomorrow. Looks like they should be out of the way by the time of fireworks. And then pretty typical summer-like conditions all the way through Tuesday of next week. High temperatures near 90, lows into the mid-70s. We're in summer. And you need to have our ABC7 weather app. That's right. Go to First Alert Weather app, go to your store, download it, and it will give you the information as far as the lightning goes and where that lightning is in relationship to where you are. That's always a great feature as well, and we can give video updates. I just did a little Engage video, they're called, Scott, and what I did is I taped a video, showed the storms approaching, so if you're not near a TV, you get the warning right there. It's a 30-second clip that we're able to do and send out to the folks there.
Great tool to use here on the Suncoast.
Well, ash, metal, and cinder block are all that's left of some properties in Colorado as a spring fire continues to burn.
The fire started last Wednesday and has now destroyed more than 100 homes. It's more than 56,000 acres in size and growing. Hundreds of people are having to leave their homes. Police arrested a Danish man on Saturday on arson charges, but later police clarified the man did not intentionally start the fire, but they haven't released any other information.
Well, it's that time of year again, almost daily thunderstorms each and every afternoon. You know, a lot of photos, videos sent into ABC7 or pics at mysuncoast.com, and they keep coming.
And we had some storms roll through yesterday afternoon and evening. And Bob, maybe you want to talk about what some of these viewers sent in. Slow motion video here showing the lightning in the sky. Yeah, we showed this yesterday too. We saw this. In fact, I was out watching this and did a live on Facebook. This lightning actually going up from the top of the storm. It's not enough energy to get down to the base of it, so it's actually a negative charge going up to the positive at the top of the storm, and that's typically how a thunderstorm breaks up. It has the negative charges on the bottom and positive on the top. So it didn't have enough to get down to the ground, but it had enough to go up to the top of the cell there. Yeah, it was quite a show last night. Well, lightning can strike just about anywhere, even your car, while you're driving. Now, Deidre McClenahan of St. Louis was driving when a bolt hit her car near the top of the windshield. Thankfully, her 2 children inside were safe, but Deidre did go to the hospital for chest pain and a numbing sensation. Now, cars offer excellent protection against lightning. What happened with this case is that the step leader, which is invisible, had already picked its spot and the car ran through it. Obviously, with her hands on the steering wheel, she got some of the charge, but most of the charge goes along the metal frame of the car into the tires and then into the ground, blowing the tires out. And people used to think that the tires offer the protection. It's not that. It's the metal frame of the car, which directs the lightning and energy down into the ground. Okay, Bob, thank you. Coming up on your new ABC7 News at 4, paying more for prescriptions. Which popular pharmaceutical company is raising prices again? And if you're hitting the road for the holiday, we have some ways you can protect your bank information when you're filling up your gas tank.
I'm Stephanie Roberts. Coming up tomorrow at 9 on Suncoast View, we'll tell you the best spots on the Suncoast to catch the 4th of July fireworks. Plus, we get a musical preview of the new show at West Coast Black Theater Troupe, and it's fun for the whole family. That's all coming up tomorrow morning at 9.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
your child's classmate,
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
Are you you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Welcome back. This afternoon we have an urgent alert for holiday travelers. The Secret Service is warning drivers there's a surge in the number of criminals targeting gas pumps with hidden devices, skimmers that can steal your credit card information. Police say it's best to use a credit card and not a debit card at the pump so you can stop fraudulent charges. And if you can, pay inside, especially if the station's off an interstate ramp where criminals can easily come and go. In your health news today, you'll soon be paying more for dozens of prescription drugs. The pharmaceutical company Pfizer says prices are going up for drugs that treat everything from blood pressure to lung cancer. This is the second time this year Pfizer has raised its prices, and some of the increases are now more than 10%. Just into our newsroom, a no swim advisory that has been in place at Bird Key Park this week has now been lifted. Florida Department of Health and Sarasota County received testing results today that were at a satisfactory level of those bacteria levels. Here's Bob. We're going to look at our forecast tonight, Bob.
Yes, Scott, a line of intense storms making their way through now. Hardy and DeSoto counties, also into eastern portions of Manatee County right now. You can see it's progressing to the west, southwest at around 10 miles an hour. Frequent lightning, heavy rainfall. Look at that intense storm there in eastern portion of Hillsborough County. We can expect a possibility of 40-mile-an-hour winds, some heavy rainfall, and lightning, some dangerous lightning with those cells. This one trying to pop up to lightning status now. It's just east of I-75 on State Road 72, and we are anticipating a good chance for showers and storms through about 6 o'clock. Then things will start to calm down. We'll have more on that later. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Bob, thank you. We're just getting started here on ABC7. Jacqueline is in the newsroom again with a quick look at just some of the stories we're working on for you tonight.
Scott, a carport fire in Bradenton went up in flames that is now being investigated as arson. Coming up at 5, what Manatee County Sheriff's deputies know so far about the 2 suspects. And at 6 o'clock, police are thanking people in Northport for helping them to locate and return stolen lawn equipment. The message they have for those in the community. And at 7, emergency services are seeing an uptick in people taking advantage of the emergency systems. We'll hear what impact phony calls have on 911 operators. Those stories and much more coming up in 30 minutes. Scott, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Jacqueline, and thank you for joining